I've got your energy stories for the fourth week of October 2025. And for our Halloween story, a half-constructed defunct nuclear power plant may be back from the dead. South Carolina's government-run power company Santee Cooper announced that it had designated Canadian private equity firm Brookfield as its partner in resuming construction of the abandoned 2,300-megawatt VC Summer nuclear plant. The twin reactors were to have been commissioned in 2017, but with massive cost overruns and over $10 billion spent, the project was eventually scrapped before it was even 50% completed. One of the bidders in the process, the nuclear company, strongly protested the proceeding and withdrew its proposal at the last minute, alleging that Santee Cooper's bidding process, quote, may have been fundamentally compromised by the evaluation of bids outside the established framework by parties previously involved in the VC Summer project and with access to information that the other parties did not have, unquote. Brookfield is committed to paying off $2.7 billion of the $3.6 billion obligation that Santee Cooper had incurred, as well as sharing 25% of ownership and output. Brookfield is a majority owner of Westinghouse, which owns the underlying AP1000 reactor technology. Now, the parties have 6 weeks for an initial feasibility period in which to select a project manager and review potential builders with an eventual goal of getting to an MOU. In the United Arab Emirates, they've just started building a $6 billion, 5,200 megawatt solar PV plant joined with a 19,000 megawatt hour battery storage system, which aims to provide 1,000 megawatts of continuous baseload power at competitive rates. This will be the largest solar storage hybrid to date. In New York, the Mobility House, a company that offers smart charging and energy management solutions, and Itron, the smart metering company, have announced an initiative to accelerate fleet electrification using flexible service connections that will take distribution system capacity into account. This will prevent delays in fleet charging. The project will integrate Itron's DERMS, Distributed Energy Resource Management System, with an automated load management system for Mobility House. This will enable fleets to electrify while minimizing need for infrastructure upgrades. And it will be done by managing charging capacity limits at specific times based on systems limitations. Interconnection of fleet charging systems with distribution grids has long been a problem, so this may help. Phase 1 will see the technology deployed with 5 chargers at a school bus system in Staten Island, while Phase 2 will see 10 additional chargers deployed at a designated second site elsewhere in New York State. Battery recycling and cathode production company Redwood Materials has raised another $350 million, with the funds used to support the company's growing energy storage business and augment its refining and materials production capacity. Redwood recently initiated an energy storage business using its enormous supply of used EV batteries. These still have plenty of life left in them, and this will largely help data centers and industrial customers. It combines used batteries with renewables to create off-grid power systems that may eventually connect to the grid or might not. Redwood recovers over 70% of all used or discarded EV battery packs in North America, and as of June, it had over 1,000 megawatt hours worth of batteries. It eventually plans to deploy 20,000 megawatt hours of grid-scale storage by 2028. Well, last week we reported on EV manufacturer and Chinese battery swap company NIO and its millions of battery swaps. It's not, however, alone. Global Chinese market leader CATL just announced it has deployed 700 battery replacement stations in 39 cities across China and is on target to hit 1,000 stations by year's end. Most are for cars, but well over 100 serve heavy-duty vehicles. By 2026, CATL plans to operate over 2,500 battery swap stations in more than 120 Chinese cities. In the initial 39 cities, drivers should find it possible to reach a station within a 10-minute drive and exchange their battery in under 100 seconds. Take that, gas station experience. Also in China, offshore wind manufacturer Minyang Smart Energy just rolled out plans for a twin-headed 50 megawatt, that's right, 50 megawatt floating offshore wind turbine supported with a V-shaped tower boasting twin 290-meter rotors. They're moving ahead, but meanwhile in this country, we're moving in retrograde. The JV between BP and JERA just called it quits on its 2,430 megawatt Beacon Wind project off the coast of Massachusetts, laying off all staff team members. This JV was launched in August of last year, And it still has a total potential generating capacity worldwide of 13,000 megawatts, including about 1,000 megawatts already installed, 7,500 megawatts in development, and 4,500 megawatts of secured leases. Phase 1, involving 1,230 megawatts, had already secured a 25-year energy offtake agreement with New York State, but the approval of the construction operation plan was still pending with the feds, and we know where that was going to go. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.